As Teddy Atlas likes to say, the winner of this fight will be the man who can control the geography, dictating the range and position of exchanges to match their strengths against the opponent's weaknesses. Fury has the edge while boxing at long range, beyond the reach of hooks and uppercuts, where his long guard, feints, jabs, and footwork shine, and where he has plenty of time to see Wilder's power coming.
While Tyson's got space behind him, he can take the distance away.
As long as he leaves enough space behind him, he should be able to stay safe and dominate the outside fight. Fury also has the edge fighting at short range, in the clinch, where he previously exhausted Wilder with posture breaks, frustrated him with tie-ups, and landed consistently. You can watch our Fury AJ breakdown to hear more about Fury's clinch fighting game. But even if Fury wasn't that good up close, Wilder isn't a big clinch fighter, so it just wouldn't make sense for him to fight where his best punches aren't available. Now, Wilder's power will always make him a very dangerous opponent, but if Fury can control the geography, keeping exchanges either at long range with space behind him or chest to chest in a grinding clinch fight, he has a clear path to victory. Crucially, that means avoiding exchanges at mid-range, where Wilder has all of his power punching tools primed. However, the transition from outside fight to phone booth moves Fury right through mid-range, where Wilder gets almost all of his knockouts, whether he's moving forward with punches or bombing off the back foot. So it'll be very interesting to watch how Fury manages this transition. Fortunately, he has some quality entries in his arsenal that allow him to move inside without walking into power punches. Let's look at a few. The first way we see Tyson manage the transition from outside to clinch is with head control off of punches. You can learn more about this in our head control video, but in brief, Tyson picks his moment to attack from long range, and whether he hits or misses, he immediately places the glove or forearm from that punching hand on Wilder's head or neck, driving him off balance and pushing his eyes off target. In doing so, he disrupts Wilder's counterpunch, then uses that point of control to break posture or clinch. In similar fashion, Fury will often intentionally miss his jab, punching behind the opponent's head to transition to a guillotine-type head control or posture break. And even if he doesn't get the posture break, Fury, in this position, is much too far away from the cross for it to be a threat. I talked about this specific position in the AJ Fury video, and we talk more about using intentional misses in the aim to miss video. With reference again to our aim to miss video, Fury's third option is to target Wilder's rear hand with his punches, busying it with defense so that he cannot throw.
If you can occupy him with feints and jabbing his gloves and keeping him occupied, keeping him defensive minded, where he goes into a full guard, it's a safer attack. Jabbed at Wilder's glove, which is occupied Wilder's glove, and the more you keep this right hand occupied, the safer it's going to be for you.
Moving from the outside in, Fury could pepper Wilder's right glove with jabs or touch it with hooks, or step in with that 3-2 as he likes to do, pinning the rear hand for defense and lining up the cross. And this combines nicely with the first point too, because off of that cross, Fury can go right to head control, keeping Wilder's punches offline even longer. Of course, Fury does not need to punch his way in. As he showed in their first two fights, Fury can also step in when Wilder punches. For example, when he's looking for the right hand, Wilder likes to paw with the jab, and Tyson had great success in their last fight, slipping under that pawing extended lead arm and bumping right into clinch range. You can learn more about this technique in our bump in inside fighting video, but in brief, he's stepping in deep with an outside slip and a level change right into clinch range. This puts him in contact with Wilder, with his head outside and practically behind the jab hand, and much too close and offline for the cross to land. Another way that Fury could use Wilder's mid-range attack to skip the mid-range fight altogether is to slip under and step inside the cross. This works especially well when Wilder falls in with his own shots, when he overcommits and half closes the gap on his own. So it's a question of whether or not Wilder can correct this, and he's clearly been working on keeping the distance, as we can see here, as he's really maintaining proper spacing with these extended mid-range combinations thrown at full power and full extension. No falling in. This isn't an exhaustive list by any means, but expect to see Fury skip mid-range exchanges often, instead transitioning straight from outside fighting dominance to grinding clinch fight using smart entries like these. Entries that take away Wilder's ability to punch where he's most dangerous. We touched a bit on how Wilder wants this fight to happen at mid-range. Now let's discuss the details and look at a few ways he plans to control the geography and make this happen. So first, let's look at a few things he's working on to avoid being tied up in the clinch. Number one, Wilder is working on not falling in with his punches, which is a great thing to drill. We see him drilling extended mid-range combinations where he's always maintaining good distance or spacing with no leaning in. Great. Now when Fury wants to step in, he has to do all of the hard work. Wilder's not doing half the job for him by falling in with his shot. We also see Wilder drilling immediate exits with no delay. He gets off with a mid-range combination and then he gets out. That makes the window of opportunity for Fury's tie-up very, very small. For example, I like this exit. He's been quite consistent with it in what little training footage has been released. You can almost think of it like a slip inside, a slip outside with your head. It should be just as fast and fluid, moving the head to the inside head slot with the cross and then to the outside head slot to recover, and stepping with the back foot simultaneously, back and out, where you can circle away or step shuffle, but it happens right away, right off the punch. No lingering. By the time Fury recovers from the attack, Wilder's already on the move, in theory. Training footage also shows Wilder using control to block tie-up attempts, deny the inside fight, and extract himself from mid-range exchanges. This is essentially what Tyson was doing to initiate the clinch, where he would, say, throw a cross and then transition to control as a way to break posture and step in and tie up. Wilder's just using it backwards. He's throwing his punch, transitioning to control, but instead of pulling towards his opponent, he's pushing away and exiting. Wilder probably won't avoid every clinch attempt that Fury makes, but he's prepared for that outcome too. Training footage shows that he is looking to explode off of the break, so this effectively creates a mid-range punching scenario every time the ref breaks them up from the clinch, and if Fury isn't focused in that instant, it could spell trouble. Finally, this is a minor point, but one worth making. Wilder is drilling disengagements. I know it just looks like he's walking away, but this is big. It shows him rejecting fights in unfavorable territory. Him refusing to fight when he does not control geography. Why fight at long range? Instead of fighting an uphill battle against an opponent who's more skilled on the outside, Wilder is willing to walk off and reset, with plenty of space between himself and his opponent. This buys him time and forces Fury to make a choice. One, he can follow Wilder and risk walking at a power puncher, one who's known for knocking people out off the back foot with his unapproachable approach.
May approach the fight in an unapproachable manner, as if to say, you step into my space and then bomb's going to be flying.
Or two, let him go and let him reset, which gives Wilder the ability to stop any engagements he doesn't like the look of with a low effort, low energy, walk-off disengagement. Altogether, these tools should help Wilder avoid the outside fight so he can get off at mid-range with an extended power combination and then get out without getting bogged down in a clinch fight. So that's it for now, guys. As usual, I'm not here to make a pick, just to talk technique. But if I had a gun to my head, I'd say Fury is the one who controls the geography on Saturday night. I expect to see him frustrate, out-jab, and out-feint Wilder from long range, minimize mid-range exchanges with quick, smart, and safe entries to the clinch, and then grind him out on the inside. If I'm wrong, well, I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps us out. Thanks again, guys, and happy training.